how the hell you trade Rasheed Wallace for Bobby Sarah? So, like what? Why couldn't that happen a year or two earlier? So
you look at the Pistons last year and then what they added this year.
These young cores can catch lightning in a bottle fast, and I think that this roster is as talented as those rosters are. And Jaden Ivey, the way that he gets downhill, Cade Cunningham, he reminds me a lot of Grant Hill with the things that he can do on the court. He can handle, he can facilitate. There's a lot of different ways that you can go, but for me, the goal is Michael Jordan.
It is so great and such a pleasure to welcome in Jerry Stackhouse, former Detroit Piston, back announcing that the Detroit Pistons will wear the teal, the throwback teal, 10 games next season. I love it. What has the reaction been like around town as you've been out and about, Jerry?
No, I mean, it's more excited than I expected. but no, I think again, the fans wanted it back, and everybody excited about it. I mean, it's just a new wave. I mean, the color, I don't think we thought much about it at the time. We were just happy to have the uniform on. I know it was kind of divisive at first, going from the red, white, and blue to the teal, but I think it's great as an alternative for a few games. I'm still a red, white, and blue fan.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, when I think of Pistons, I think of red, white, and blue, and I think that's just ingrained in my mind as Piston colors.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but you played one season under the red, white, and blue before the change, right?
Yeah, we brought it back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I was there at the teal, and then so I've been a part of bringing the red and white and blue back and bringing the teal back. So I've been fortunate.
You mentioned Rasheed Wallace earlier. When you saw Rasheed playing for the Pistons, your UNC brother playing for the Pistons, winning a championship, were you like, doggone it?
Man, it was surreal, man. Just all the different dynamics. You know what I'm saying? I always claimed that no diss to Chucky Atkins or Lindsey Hunter, all those guys. They're great in their own right, but I never felt like I played with a point guard at the caliber of a Chauncey Billups. Yeah. And then when Rasheed just fell into their lap, I mean, how the hell you trade Rasheed Wallace for Bobby Sarah? So like what? Why couldn't that happen a year or two earlier? So, but no, man, I was happy for those guys because again, there was Darvin Ham, Sheed. Rip, we obviously we were ultra competitive against each other. I tried to kill him every time that I saw him, but at the same time, he's a good dude. Tayshaun and Chauncey, all those guys. So I was happy for those guys and what they were able. Just disappointed that wasn't able to be a part of kind of the what started it, so to speak.
It's funny you talk about not playing point guards. I know a thing or two about that. If you look at the point guard as a quarterback position, I know something about not playing with point guards. But you talk about Darvin.
Poor guy played 9 years in the NFL, never played with a quarterback.
Hey man, but like you said though, like I was able to kind of like navigate and do things and go places. Like I don't think it happens that way if I don't take that path. Kind of like you just said. But you talk about Darvin Ham. We just talked about guys that are now former players that are in that coaching role. Just touch on that real quick. What do you think he could do for the Los Angeles Lakers? Because I got to tell you, I like what I'm seeing and hearing. He's a true, real brother.
Yeah, I mean, he's one of the realest, man. Saginaw's finest, man. Yeah. He's gonna come in there and he's gonna demand respect and hold those guys accountable. I think he has a championship pedigree, so it's not like it's a guy that hadn't won and hadn't been around winning. I mean, he's paid his dues. He worked close to Bud. He's Bud's right-hand guy. So I think you're getting a guy that knows the game of basketball. He knows from a defensive standpoint. I think that's where they're going to really benefit. They're going to find a way to score points. They're too talented to not score points, but where they need to really set their identity again is on the defensive end. And I think they got the right guy to do it.
Talking about identity, talking about defense, let's bring it back full circle to the Detroit Pistons. A lot of young talent in this team. When you look at the Pistons last year and then what they added this year, Jalen Duren in the draft, Jaden Ivey, what do you think they could be in a couple of years or even this year?
I think this. I mean, you showed you've seen it where the Phoenix Suns or the Memphis Grizzlies, how these young cores can catch lightning in a bottle fast, and I think that this roster is as talented as those rosters are. I do think they have a little bit better mix of veteran guys. When you add a Chris Paul, you add a guy like that to the Phoenix Suns, it takes them to another level. So I think that's going to be key And I think they got cap flexibility to be able to go out and get a type of guy like that can really come in and be a big mentor to these guys, but not only somebody just to talk to them and tell them what to do, but can still get out on the court and be effective as well. So I love it, man. Jaden Ivey, the way that he gets downhill, Cade Cunningham, he reminds me a lot of Grant Hill with the things that he can do on the court. He can handle, he can facilitate. He can score. So it's just about how they buy into, Coach Casey's defensive system. Coach Casey, he's been in this, situation before. He's built, programs. So I think they got the right guy from that standpoint to help them get there. But they just got to continue to build. But I do like this roster and the chance of them doing something special right away.
Do you ever run into Grant Hill?
I seen Grant every once in a while, man. I think, he invited, when he had his Hall of Fame, he invited me up there. He was, one of the guys that I remember went to the Hall of Fame to see him inducted there. And we chat a little bit on Instagram from time to time when people tag us on different things. But no, I don't see him as much as we probably should see each other with him being out. But he's always on TV doing something.
You guys are always moving.
He's got to be. He's taking James Brown said, the hardest working man in show business, man. Whether it's college basketball. NBA stuff, man. He keeps his face in the mix with whatever's going on basketball wise.
Talking to Jerry Stackhouse, former Piston. Jerry, you mentioned when you played here, you had to go out to Auburn Hills. What do you think, just being back and seeing the new facilities and the new arena downtown, and how loud that place is going to get when the Pistons do, in fact, build that championship contender, which we all expect very soon?
Yeah, man, it's been awesome, man. I came to the closing of the Palace, and then I was here for the opening of Little Caesars arena, and then I toured the practice facility today. Unbelievable practice facility, man. Everything that you want and you need. The players got all the resources that they need to be successful, and that's all that you can ask for. You want an ownership group that wants to give you all of the things that you need to be successful, and I think Gores is, he's committed to that. He's shown that, and now it's just about, continuing to do the things they're doing in the community. And the same message that we had when we were here. We make sure that we touch the community, have a positive effect there. You continue to do those things, good things are going to happen on the basketball court. But, just walking around the city, I'm down at the Shinola Hotel, man. Seeing
yes, sir.
The restaurants down there. Woodward is, it's a really, really cool vibe, and I'm excited for what the future holds for the city and for the franchise.
I want to ask you a question about a guy that you played against in college, a guy you played against in the NBA, and now you're probably coaching against at some point in time. It's Juwan Howard. Not necessarily what happened, what they did last year, not necessarily about him. What is the buzz about him in the college world, in the coaching world? What's the talk about Juwan Howard when his name comes up?
Well, I think everybody knows Juwan. He paid his dues. He was on Miami's bench. For a long time, coaching and doing the things that he needed to do from that standpoint. But he's just a basketball guy, man. He's a guy that loves basketball. He's passionate. Passion might have ran over a little bit last year, but again, it's we're human. We make mistakes, we make errors, but it's how you bounce back from it and how you respond from it. And I think now, this is the real true test to these guys. Most of those guys, they kind of inherited pretty good teams. Now it's about going out and recruiting and making sure that you maintain that. We wasn't as fortunate, in Vanderbilt to, inherit, a team that had that type of success, that had that type of run. So the future, for you to continue to have that success, you got to go out and get players. But there's no question that he has the understanding and the know-how of how to scheme and coach great basketball, coach winning basketball.
All right, Jerry, final question. I'm going to put you on the spot. You ready? You have played against prime Jordan and prime LeBron. Who you got?
Oh, man, I'm going with prime Jordan, right? But if there was ever a 1.A, it has to be, LeBron has to be right there. When you just look at his accomplishments on paper, it's ridiculous of the things that he's accomplished. But, it's different eras, man. I still think Kareem is one of the greatest to me. I think, for the younger generation, it's probably not even between Jordan and LeBron.
Kobe.
It's between Kobe and LeBron.
Yeah.
So I think different eras. Bill Russell, you know, if you want to win, you better get Bill Russell on your team. So it's a lot of different ways that you can go. But for me, the GOAT is Michael Jordan.
The great Jerry
is.
Stackhouse. We love you around here. A lot of Pistons fans love you around here. And we wish you all the success in the world at Vanderbilt. And you never know. Maybe when Dwayne Casey retires.
Hey, man.
You know?
Also,
maybe there's always a comeback.
I promise you this, Stack. You invite me to your house now, I won't mess the grass up.
He will not drive on the lawn.
I won't mess the grass up.
Boy, you better stay off my grass.
He will get an Uber driver next time.
There you go.
Or Lyft.
Man. Enjoy
anybody
it.
sponsor the show?
Lady
Jerry,
James, I
thanks,
think.
man.
Appreciate
We
you guys.
appreciate
Appreciate
it.
you,
All the
Robert.
success over there at Vanderbilt.